I want to do something about how military is wrong. There's got to be a correlation of why we have these, um, I don't know. There's got to be a correlation to why we have these I don't know, I don't know where I'm going with this. Undiagnosed treatments of things that are not working. I don't know why that's how I want to say it, but because why is it that there's stuff like PTSD or I don't know what else, other things, the way, and there's really no way we're treating it, those things, and even supposedly born again Christian can't even be helped through it, and the only way I can see that happening is because there's something wrong. I don't know if I've come to the conclusion. I have ideas. I saw something the other day of how literally if you decide, you want to get out of the military, you're actually put into prison for as many as 5 years, if not, I don't know. And I'm like, that kind of hit me. I'm like, what? I knew that that was a thing, but that just kind of hit me that just hit me. I'm like, and then there's a bunch of other things I can think of that I guess I don't want to really get into, but I guess another thing that was on my mind is there's got to be a better way. And you know what atheists are like is well, it's all these there's all these religious wars and stuff, and religion is a problem, and blah blah blah. Look at all the people who you never blah blah blah. And then also saw another thing the other day that was like, actually, all the wars in like the past, I don't know how many years it said, 100 years or whatever, those were actually all started by atheism, communists and fascists. And so I'm just kind of thinking through this, and I'm like, if we're not even supposed to be in the military, and one, I'm looking at the wars because I was like, okay, when did like PTSD really start happening? First thing I saw was like it started happening in World War One, and I'm like, okay. Next thing, but then I saw another one that was like it was as early as the Civil Wars. So I'm just kind of thinking through this. I don't know if there's even more, but I'm just thinking through this, and I'm like, one, the Civil War, we should not have been fighting each other. Surely there was something that could have been done other than a war. And then you look at the other World War One and Two, and maybe the ones after that. I'm not too sure everything about the ones after that, but look at World War One and Two. Okay, well, what is that? Fascism, atheism. That's actually, if you're an actual atheist, oh, we're just evolution, natural selection, happen chance. If we're all here by happen chance, products of evolution, and so all this nonsense, then you should act. That is what they were doing was what you should be doing. If you actually believed what you do, that is what you should be doing. There's a master race. We need to continue propagating the master race, and the master race is what should be continuing to be. I don't know. That's actually what you should legitimately do. If you're an atheist, believe in evolution, you should actually be trying to get this master race that is better than everyone else so that we can have a better world. That is actually what you should be doing if you believed what you did. So how would you fight that? You actually need to help them to believe. That is actually what you have to do. And to the Civil War, that was a lot of believers even. You need to somehow get on the same page. And then all the wars after that, I don't know exactly what happened with that. But then once again, there's also the communism going on, which once again, that's basically, that's the exact same, well, almost the exact same, like fascism or whatever was going on. It's like there's this master race that's literally evolution and whatnot, and that's what you should be doing. Then there's communism, which is basically, we should just do whatever we can that would be to benefit us. You know, don't no, just completely disregard anyone else's values and lives. Whatever we need to do for us, do for us. Who cares? And have this better society for our own benefits and just screw everyone else. So once again, that is atheism. That is what you should actually do if you honestly believe there is no God, and we're just here to either be some master race or just do whatever will help us and benefit us. And that is actually what you all should be doing. So once again, what is the best way to do that? You actually need to get them to believe in Jesus. So, you know, just I don't know where I'm going with this other than. And then the other thing I was thinking of, it's like, well, one, during Jesus' day, I don't like the military for believers. There was nothing. There was none. There was no military. So there's like, I don't know. There's not really like a thing to compare this to. But it's like, just the idea I have is like, just let them fight. Like, America got involved in all kinds of things that weren't even had anything to do with us. And it's like, is God, just let God work it out? Whatever's going on there, something's wrong, or we need to actually help them to. I don't know what we need to help them with. You know, I don't know. But ultimately, like, I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say. If people just believed, that would have been a lot helpful with all the fascists and communists. If they just even believed, that would have been helpful. And I don't know other stuff. But there's something wrong with military. I mean, if you want to look at the Old Testament, what they did is if there's these societies that are just really bad, we actually wiped them all out. So like I'm trying to think, like the only time that America was ever actually attacked was Hawaii, which I mean that I guess that's part of the US, and they did attack Hawaii. What did we do? We dropped the bombs. So like what would we do today? I That's a good question. Do we go back to believe in God or we're going to wipe you all out? But anyways, I guess the point that I was going to make was so wars over religion, those aren't actually the worst thing. Like the worst wars were actually started by atheists. 200 million people died because of fascism and other things and atheists. That does not compare to whatever wars have been started over anything else. And I'm not entirely sure the best way to fight that war is we got a bunch of people starting wars who don't believe in God, and what we're doing is making sure that they will never see God ever, 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 ever. So I'm just not entirely sure that's the way to go. I mean, there's got to be a better way.